It is now 2026, which means it's time to continue my annual tradition that I've been doing for the past 2 years or so, complaining about every single new set that comes out because they're all pretty bad. LEGO's been kind of in the dump recently, and it's time to complain about new sets once more, because I am sure LEGO has not learned anything or improved slightly. Yeah, so something changed the past year. I don't know if someone at LEGO got visited by the ghosts of Christmas past, future, and present, or what happened, but it seems like LEGO has had a change of heart, and the prices and set quality seems to be getting better, which is something I never thought I'd say. Usually with stuff like this, it is a continuous downward spiral until everything is horrible and no one likes this hobby anymore. That's happened many times. But it seems like LEGO is rebounding, and except for one theme, which we'll get to, LEGO is in a pretty good spot. And there's two main sets that I think really shows this off extremely well. The first one is the Spider-Man vs. Sandman Epic Battle set, part of the new LEGO Epic Battle line. This is a line of smaller, more affordable display sets targeted towards adults, but can obviously be played with by children as well. The set includes 3 minifigures, that being Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, a new Sandman minifigure, and a brand new Venom minifigure, all based off Spider-Man 3. The build is a very standard little diorama with a few like light poles and beams and a little build for Sandman in the middle. It's nothing crazy, but it does what it's trying to do fairly well, and overall works for what it's trying to do. And the best part about this set is it retails for 25 USD. No, I am not joking, this set is actually affordable. Now, for all the snot-nosed scoobers who have been complaining about this set saying, well, actually, it should have been $9.99, LEGO is so cooked, I'm just gonna say, no. Even looking back in, 2012, the set that I could compare this most to is the Deadpool copter with the same amount of minifigures, and a similar parted build, except this one has slightly bigger pieces, but overall, they are about the same price all these years later. The set is actually priced like a 2012 set. It was never going to be $9.99, you're just misremembering. It was never that good, okay? LEGO's always been semi-expensive. But still, I think the set is actually so good that it should be the new standard for sets this small. I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but there's a LEGO Star Wars set with Cobb Vanth Speeder, with Cobb Vanth obviously, and Cad Bane, which is like $35 for one less minifigure and a few less pieces, which is, not okay. That set should have also been priced $25, and I really hope LEGO sticks to this new standard that, okay, sets this size with this amount of pieces and minifigures should be in that $25 bracket, because I really do think this is a great option for everybody. People who are buying on a budget finally get a Tobey Maguire minifigure for under $100, and they also get some new exclusive minifigures that were made specifically for this set. It's a win-win for everybody. There's also a Hulkbuster that was made for this line, which isn't as good of a deal at 50 USD, but it still has some new, arm printing on Iron Man and a Big Fig Hulk, so it works out to be a pretty decent deal. But the Spider-Man vs. Sandman set is a crazy deal. The other set that I think really showcases how LEGO is improving is the Ninja character display from Ninjago Legacy. Yes, Ninjago Legacy is back in the big 2026 and better than ever, with some absolutely amazing sets like the 4 Weapons Blacksmith with an absolutely gorgeous build, or the Old Town, bringing back some of the most expensive Ninjago minifigures ever made and bringing them into the modern era. And the Ninja character display is probably the best valued out of all of these. For $45, you get all of the Ninja, Lloyd, Kai, Cole, Zane, and Jay all in their Legacy ZX outfits all in one set. The biggest thing that always irks me with Ninjago is how they spread out the suit line across all sets. I know for collectors who want to collect all the Infinity Stones, that's like kind of cool, but not every set just includes one ninja, so you're gonna end up with like 4 of the same Nia minifigure that you just do not want or like. Like, I don't need all these Nia minifigures. But this set gives you all of the ninja, plus their golden weapons for a fairly good price. Not to even mention, there's still more minifigures on top of that. With Wu and Samurai X, which aren't the most interesting minifigures to be honest, but they're still cool additions and definitely didn't have to be here, but they also work really well. As a bonus, you also get the anniversary minifigure of Jay's mother. Every single Legacy set this wave comes with a extra bonus anniversary minifigure, which are always super accurate and detailed to the source material. And even though everyone's been talking about how great of a minifigure pack this is, the build should not be slept on either. It is a little diorama of the front of the monastery on this absolutely gorgeous red, black, and gold base, which acts as a centerpiece to display all of the anniversary minifigures from this wave. I think this might be the best Ninjago set ever made. You might not love some of the design choices with it, but for value, you can't really beat this. There was the Dragonian Village set, which included Moro and some other pretty neat minifigures, but comparing the two here, it's night and day. I feel like this set is so much better value than that one. It is genuinely crazy. Not to even mention how great of a value the Blacksmith or Old Town are, with the Old Town having like just under 5,000 pieces for $300, which sounds like a lot, but when comparing it to pretty much any other D2C set ever, it's a far better deal. It also brings back some of the most valuable Ninjago figures from the past, like Crux and Acronyx, Harumi, Faith, and all sorts of goobers. So, like, overall, I feel like fans are going to feel like they got their money's worth with these sets, which is what is most important here. Not to mention themes like Speed Champions bringing out the best value DeLorean of all time, a set I didn't personally get because I have other DeLoreans, but it still slaps and I feel like definitely should not be understated at all. This set actually went pretty viral and got a few video essays talking about how LEGO is changing their ways just because of this set being affordable, which I feel like is a great PR move from LEGO. Now, there is still one theme that is a scourge on everything and completely ruins the vibe of this very, very positive video. And of course, it is LEGO Star Wars. Now, I'm not going to be overly pessimistic. There are a few changes that LEGO Star Wars has made in 2026 for the better. Marvel made a set this year, which was a small little Ghost Rider bike with a new Ghost Rider minifigure and Spider-Man minifigure, which retailed for $10, which was a absolutely great deal because you got a new exclusive minifigure and a actually minifigure scale Ghost Rider bike for like the first time ever. It was a great deal and a beloved set by fans, even though it includes the same Spider-Man minifigure we've gotten like a million times by now. And LEGO Star Wars has done something similar with the Mandalorian and Grogu speeder bike, with a small little Mandalorian speeder bike including the full version of Mando and Grogu. Now, I've seen a lot of people saying that should have been a polybag, and it is a polybag size set. However, just for like accessibility, because sometimes polybags can be pretty hard to find if you're not looking in the right areas, I feel like this is still a better set for kids and people on a budget as a whole. However, that's really where my positives for LEGO Star Wars end, because what do you mean the BB-8 Astromech droid is $90 US? That is pretty absurd and ridiculous to the craziest degree. Look at these two sets and tell me that the smaller one is more expensive. That is not okay. This might be the worst valued LEGO Star Wars set of all time, which I didn't think I'd say after the Turbo Tank from last year, but I actually think this is worse than the Turbo Tank because it is in every single way inferior and also just absurdly expensive for no reason. At least you can make the argument with the Turbo Tank that they made some new minifigures, they put Bakara and some Galactic Marines in the set, which are at least figures people are interested in. This set literally just has BB-8, and that's it. It is the most lame set I have ever seen, and guess what? Everybody ate it up because it sold out. Yep, it actually sold out. I didn't realize this until sitting down to record, but it seems like people are gobbling this up, which is a great sign for LEGO's future, and is definitely not encouraging this behavior. There's also the Siege of Mandalore Battle Pack, which is a whole $3 cheaper than the last Battle Pack. Gee, thanks LEGO, you're doing God's work out here. I'm just saying, like, you're really dropping these prices by a substantial amount. Great job, LEGO. It's not like the two of the minifigures are reused from other sets, and the builds are super simplistic and not worth the money at all. But, you know, whatever, you know, like, you're really doing God's work out here. LEGO Star Wars is like a moldy spot in an otherwise perfect piece of cheese. Like, it just ruins everything and makes the entire piece of cheese unbearable and unusable. Because this was going to be a very positive video until these sets got revealed and my smile turned into a frown very, 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 very quickly. Now, there's a few options for how it has happened, and I think option A is Disney is trying to ruin Star Wars as they usually are, and is just jacking these prices up to insane highs because, I don't know, they feel like it, I guess. Option B is LEGO is doing it themselves because, as we saw with BB-8, people gobble this up no matter how overpriced. LEGO Star Wars fans are like rabid dogs, they can't control themselves. If they see a set that even has a cool minifigure, like one cool minifigure, or even looks slightly presentable, or in the case of BB-8, I don't even know what people saw in that set, they're gonna buy like 50 copies to resell on the aftermarket. They're fiends. So it makes sense that LEGO would milk them for all they're worth. Or option C, it's both. I'm gonna spoil it, it's both. It's Disney and LEGO who are ruining this hobby. It is absolutely absurd that more people aren't calling this wave out for being as trash as it actually is. And in a sea of otherwise amazingly priced sets from other themes, LEGO Star Wars is completely cooked. Like, I don't understand how people are thinking this is any better from last year. It just isn't. It is genuinely abysmal. But with all that said, I do think LEGO is going in the right direction in 2026. Yeah, not everything is perfect, and this is only step one of a marathon they need to run to undo all of the damage they have done these past few years with these absurd prices and lackluster builds. However, I do feel like this is a very strong first step and has brought a lot of hype back into the hobby. At least for me, it has made me a lot more interested to see what the August summer sets are going to be like, or what the future has in store for LEGO, what 2027 could possibly look like. And I really do think, even though it is not perfect, and there are still some holdovers from like Marvel and Ninjago, like the Ninja Dragon Ryu set, which is a crime against humanity, I think we should give LEGO the positive feedback that, hey, we like this, keep going in this direction. That's really all I have for you today. I hope you all enjoyed this more relaxed video covering some new sets. I will see you all next time. Happy New Year. Bye bye.